Good evening, change makers from every part of the world, from any part of Africa, Asia, America. We welcome you to yet another amazing edition of the IHA Social Impact webinar. We're super excited to be doing this with you again in the month of May. And we already have in the studio our quintessential Dr. Naomi Osemedua. She is super pumped for tonight. And I would just assure you to get your notepad, get a cup or glass of water, and get ready to soak in to sound wisdom tonight. Once again, I welcome you all to the Ideation of Africa Social Impact webinar. So I'll charge you to please get into your sphere of influence, get into your communities, and begin to um, spore and again call out your sisters, brothers, fellow change makers to join in tonight's webinar. It promises to be very, very loaded. So while we wait on more people to join in, I would want you to share where you're joining us from. Just type in the comment section your name, your organization, which part of the world you're joining us from, and what your expectations are for tonight's webinar. I'm excitedly looking through the chats and I will be reading the comments as I see you share. So, once again, we're super excited. Dr. Naomi is in the studio already. Thank you. Good evening, everyone, once again. Yes. So, I want to read from each of you. Just type in the comment section your name, your organization. You can also share probably the STG or the impact area where you play in, as well as the location or the country you're joining us from. All right. So it's been super exciting the past few months. We have dissected a lot of very interesting topics, and we promise to bring you much more profound areas of discourse that is very, very relevant to the development sector. So we want to read from you, share in the comment section where you're joining us from, just before we bring on board our guest mentor and guest speaker, Dr. Naomi. So please share in the comment section, share with us where you're joining us from, your name, and your organization. We would love to read from you excitedly, as well as your expectations for tonight's webinar. Don't forget, tonight's webinar is themed The Power of Social Impact Storytelling for Nonprofits and Social Enterprises. So none of your colleagues, friends within the sector should be left, out of this. So get onto a call, send them a reminder, send out a text, get them on board. All right. So while I wait on everyone to just type in the comment section, I would definitely bring on our guest speaker, Dr. Naomi, because she's already in the studio and we're super excited about tonight. All right. Okay. So I'm waiting excitedly to read from everyone who is tuned in tonight. Share where you're joining us from, your name, your organization, as well as your expectations for tonight. All right, I can see a comment, so I will be reading that in a bit. All right, okay. Oh, thank you, Owutu, Sophia Somtochuko. Oh, thank you. You're joining us all the way from Enugu, Nigeria. Super, super excited and really elated to have you on board. Please share with us the organization you work with and as well as the impact area where you play in. It will be great reading from you, in that aspect. Heritage, Somi Lawal. Yes, thank you for joining in this evening. All right. Heritage is the founder of our Dream Initiative, an organization focused on the empowerment of women and girls, especially through advocacy for their rights. I'm joining from UK. Wow. Thank you, Heritage, all the way from United Kingdom. We're super excited to have you on board tonight as well. Thank you. All right. Sophia, share in the comment section the organization you work with, as well as which impact area you're playing in. All right. So we would also love to read from you your expectations for tonight. So just type that in the comment section. I will certainly read that out. All right. So we're super pumped. Our guest speaker is in the studio already, and I'm just, waiting for the perfect time to cue her in. So while I wait on that, or wait for that moment, I still want to read for more of us. So type in the comment section your name, where you're joining us from, the organization you work with, as well as the impact area where you're playing in. So please type in the comment section. We're excitedly looking forward to reading from you. All right. All right. Expecting more comments. All right. Okay. So we're expecting more comments. I want to read for of more of the chain makers and social innovators currently tuned in tonight. So share in the comment section where you're joining us from. All right. Okay. Sophia, please also share which organization you work with, all the way from Enugu. Thank you. All right. Okay. So I want to see your excitement in the comment section. Dr. Naomi is already in the studio with us, and she's super ready for tonight. But I will still encourage you to, within your sphere of influence, within your communities, share the notice, share the announcement, let them know that the IHA Social Impact Webinar has commenced. And yeah, we have our guest speaker here in with us already, and we're super ready for a feast tonight, a feast of wisdom. All right. Okay. All right. All right. Okay. All right. So I can see more people in the building. Thank you, Emmanuel Ejiga. We're super excited to read from you. Oh, Emmanuel Ejiga is a grant writer for other initiative, that caters to the needs of elderly people who have been neglected by society. Wow. We welcome you, Emmanuel. Thank you for joining in tonight. All right. I'm super excited. Our guest speaker is ready for us tonight. And I will be queuing her in few seconds. All right. Thank you so much, Naomi, Dr. Naomi Osemedua. Thank you for tonight.
Wow.
Thank you for honoring our invitation. We're super elated to have you on board.
Thank
Good
you. Thank you
evening.
so much, Toying. I am so honored, super delighted. Thank you. I've been looking forward to this day. It's been a long day of just being in that place of preparation because I am so passionate about teaching. I am so passionate about, change in our world. And so it's a great honor for me to be here today. So thank you to my dear sister and friend, Coach DDK, and the entire team at Ideation Hub Africa for having me today.
Thank you so much, Dr. Naomi. So, just before I do a formal introduction, let me welcome more of our community members who are
Okay.
tuned in tonight. So,
Okay.
Sophia is joining us, and she is the founder of Tomorrow's Leaders Today initiative, a
Wow.
platform that is geared towards inspiring, facilitating, and equipping teenagers, mostly secondary schools, with knowledge. Well done, Sophia. We celebrate you. Okay, that helps them gain a sense of direction. Thank you, Sylvia. We also
Wow.
welcome Mystic Judy. She's joining us all the way from Warri. She works with a new initiative called the Urban. Oh, she just came up with a new initiative called the Urban Paradigm Shift Initiative. And I hope to get tips of storytelling for impact. Wow, 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 wow. We're super excited to have you, Mystic have Mystic Judy on board. Thank you so much. All right. So once again, Dr. Naomi, we truly are honored to have you on board. And just before I, leave the stage and allow you do your thing, I think we need to do you the honors and to formally introduce you. Thank you so much. All
Thank
right.
you.
So Dr. Naomi Osemedua is a renowned coach, national transformation strategist, and global speaker who has been featured, in high impact events and spoken on stages across 4 continents. She's passionate about human capacity development and loves to speak with humor, using real life stories to keep our audience captivated. She has also been listed as one of Nigeria's 100 most inspiring women 2020. She's fondly called the Sparkle Queen as she sprinkles a sparkle effect on everything she touches. As the CEO of the Center Stage Company, she is on a mission to help driven entrepreneurs turn their stories to profits and impact their world like only they can. Naomi, who is also a highly skilled global media strategist, uses her knowledge and expertise to coach personal and corporate brands on how to scale from being invisible to visible, not just in their local space, but particularly in the global community, helping them perform at peak levels, leverage digital media platforms as they serve with purpose and enjoy the freedom to be, do, and have all that they desire with a vision to support the Sustainable Development Goal 5, achieve gender equality, and empower all women and girls. Naomi is the founder of the Women with Stories International, an organization on a mission to empower women to find and own their unique stories, discover their cure, and serve others with the gift of these stories. She is the creator of the movement, Trash the Labels, based on our inspirational TEDx talk at TEDx Providence 2019, where she was selected out of over 500 participants as the only speaker from the entire African continent in its 8th year edition. From Nigeria to Zambia, Dubai, Egypt, India, and the USA, Naomi continues to impact thousands of entrepreneurs and personal brands with her message, with clients spanning over 30 countries across the globe. She is a proud recipient of the Women of Excellence Award by the Women Economic Forum in New Delhi, India. She is also the recipient of the first IVE African Community Support Award and the first global brand ambassador for Zolani Beauty, an international beauty brand inspiring women of color all across the globe. She emerged as the social media business influencer of the year 2019 by the Entrepreneur Africa. She's been featured in many reputable magazines and platforms, including TED Global, The 700 Club, Guardian Woman, Vanguard Allure, Today's Woman, Channels Television,
Oh, Lord.
Go TV, Yali Africa, and lots more. She's an alumni of the Dale Carnegie Institute, U.S. Exchange Program, Academy for Women Entrepreneurs, and Miles Morrow Leadership Mentoring Program. She sits on the executive board of four amazing social change initiatives: IVE Africa, Church on the Street, Kayesani Foundation, and Soul Talks Africa. She is a regular contributor to Thrive Global, owned by Arena Ufitin. She is a philanthropist, and through our organization, Ajara Sports, she continues to impact a community one person at a time. On October 23rd, 2021, Naomi was conferred with a Doctor of Philosophy, PhD in Leadership and Management by SK University in Cotonou, ranked among the top 10 universities in Benin Republic for our outstanding contribution in the areas of entrepreneurship development, business management, public speaking, women empowerment, leadership, and philanthropy. On 10th December at the 2021 Annual Global Women Economic Forum Conference in India, Dr. Naomi was awarded the Leader of the Decade Award. Naomi is on a mission to die empty and sparkle our world like only she can. Please, with a rousing applause, let's welcome the phenomenal Dr. Naomi Osemedua. We're truly honored to have you.
Thank you so much. I felt like running away at some point. I
I could hear you trying
was
to
like,
say
oh
it's
Lord.
enough, but I just said I wouldn't stop. I must read out this loaded biography. And you can see only the biography that I read out tonight is a source of inspiration to everyone, even to myself, reading through it. So we
Thank
really are super excited about what we're in for tonight. So let me allow you, have the floor, and please, it's all yours.
All right. Thank you. Thank you so much, Toyin. Thank you. Hello, everybody. I see you girls and guys in the comments. I see Heritage, Sami Lawal, Olajumoke. Thank you so much for your kind words. Hi, everybody. Please, please. Again, let us know where you're joining us from. If you're just coming on, please let us know where you are in the world. And don't forget to share this. Get your friends in here, get your neighbors in here, get your children in here. What I'm about to share today is so dear to my heart. And it just really humbles me when I get to look back and see how far I have come, not because I am a superwoman or someone with extraordinary skills. I am grateful to God for the grace upon my life, but I say this to say that anyone, absolutely anyone, can achieve that which they set their heart to. And storytelling is one of the most powerful tools that I know of. It is one that I have proven and tested for so many years. And I am, again, super excited to teach tonight because I know I'm speaking to a room of change makers. I know I'm speaking to people who are changing the world. I mean, every day you wake up, you are about the business of making this world a better place. So you are extremely special to me. And I have taken extra time to make sure that I give you the very best tonight as the good Lord helps me. I understand that we have at least an hour of pure teaching, and there are questions already. Some of you have sent in. If you've got fresh questions as I am teaching, please also take note of them. And you can put them in the comments. I'm sure the admin will ensure that I respond after my session. So if you have a journal, if you have a pen, let me know that you are ready in the chat box. I want you to put ready. I need to know that you're ready. Make sure you grab water. This is going to be intense, really intense. Honestly, it's 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 a lot. We have a lot to cover, and I am intentional about giving you a lot because I know you can handle it. You are here to change the world, and so anything, anything. How do I put this? I didn't come here to give you baby food. I teach a lot, and sometimes I serve baby food. I didn't bring baby food tonight. So I I can't say this enough. Please get ready. So I'm going to give you at least 30 seconds. Grab water, grab a journal, grab a pen. If you have other windows open on your device, close them because you don't want to miss a moment that could be for you specifically. If you have people around you that may distract you, either find another location or let them know that you would appreciate having some time to yourself so that you can focus. This is a destiny shifting moment. I strongly believe that. This is a destiny shifting moment, and you have to be ready for it. I can only but share my heart. But if you're not ready to receive, if you're not creating the kind of atmosphere that will allow you to receive what is coming, then that is on you. Ideation Hub has done well to put this together. I think it's been months that we've been on this. I had to confirm today. I mean, this is the day that the Lord has made, and this is the day we're having this conversation. And I'm ready. All of heaven is ready. And right now, it is your turn. So if you're ready, I want to see ready in the chat box. Come on, put it in there. Ready, ready, ready. Thank you, Mystic Judy. Can I get the PDF? What do you want to do with the PDF of the biography? That is so hilarious. But thank you. Thank you so much. Let me see ready in the chat box. Come on, I haven't seen it yet. Talk to me. I haven't even started and I'm drinking water. Just to let you know that I have been on your matter for hours. I was telling Toyin that I've been on this because when I got to know that I had more time with you all, I decided to go the extra mile. So I know what I'm saying when I said this is not baby food. What I'm sharing with you over the next hour, I would probably teach in 3 different classes. So this is almost like 3 classes combined. Okay, I see the ready. I see the ready. I see the ready. Okay, so thank you once again for having me. Let's get this ball rolling. The power of social impact storytelling for nonprofits and social enterprises. And of course, you know who I am. Oh my goodness. I was about to touch I was about to touch the wrong button. Okay. So this is where we're starting from. So you're trying to change the world for good. Why should we care? Those who know me know I love interactive sessions. So I'm going to be asking a lot of questions and I need you to respond like really quickly. So if you're not writing in your journal, I need you to be responding in the chat box because my eyes are on the chat box as well. You're trying to change the world for good. Why should we care? Honestly, I want to know, why should we care? Why should we really care about what you're trying to do? Tell me, why should we care? This is a question for you. Why should we care about what you're trying to do? Because we do really need to care. I think it's important that we care about what you're trying to do because somehow on your journey to changing the world, you cannot do it alone. Oh, fantastic. Mystic Judy says, because I count and I care. Okay, perhaps, maybe you would like for us to donate to your cause. Perhaps you would like for us to volunteer and support you. Perhaps you would like for us to spread the word about the powerful thing that you're doing in your community, in your nation, and in perhaps just the entire world, because right now the world is a global village. With just a touch of a button, you can connect with anyone in any part of the world. Olajumoke says, because the social impact makes all the difference. Yes, it is important. We should care about what you're doing because you are trying to make a difference and you need us. I am assuming, and I know I am right in saying that the work that you're trying to do, you can't do it alone. Even if you had all the funds, you would still need the help of people, either in execution, in management, in identifying the communities that need help. You can't do this work by yourself. So, again, perhaps you want us to donate. Perhaps you want us to volunteer. Perhaps you want us to spread the word about your good work. You need us. However, how are you telling us that you need us? Like, are you intentional about telling us what you're about? What wakes you up every day? What drives you? Because, truth be told, when it comes to storytelling, once upon a time never gets old. A Native American proverb says, "Tell me the fact and I will learn. Tell me the truth and I will believe. But tell me a story and it will live in my heart forever." And as a founder or a leader or a co-founder of a nonprofit organization and or social enterprise, you want to be in the hearts of people, because when you get to touch the hearts of people, it becomes very easy for them to support you, it becomes very easy for them to give to you, it becomes very easy for them to spread the word about what you're doing. Stories have been used to hand down learning and knowledge for thousands of years. It is not going anywhere. And a good story engages our curiosity, our emotions, and our imaginations. After nourishment, shelter, and companionship, stories are the thing we need most in the world. And that's a quote by Philip Pullman. Stories are the thing we need most in the world. Stories are part of our daily lives. In the anecdotes we tell to our friends, the books we read, the films we watch, the conversations we have in the coffee bar, stories are a part of our world, right? They are a big part of our world. And storytelling is the best way to capture people's attention, bake information into their memories, and forge close personal bonds, even with complete strangers. Some of us are going to be friends today because I'm going to be telling a lot of stories, and you're going to feel like you know me. You're going to feel like I am your personal person, just by leveraging the power of storytelling. All right. I love this. And I want you to put this down somewhere you will never forget it. Those who tell stories rule the world. I want you to put that in the chat box. Those who tell stories rule the world. So if you want to rule the world, if you want to change the world, as I believe you are already, you have to be ready and intentional about telling your stories. And again, we have so much to cover, and I need you to just brace up because I don't believe I left anything out. And you will confirm at the end of my session if there was anything I left out. Like, through this class, you will be equipped to take your work to the next level. So, whether you're just starting, whether you are already a seasoned nonprofit founder, you will find value here that can help you scale to the next level. And if you're ready for the next level, I want you to put next level in the chat box as well. Stories have a transformative power to allow us to see the world in a different way than we do if we just encounter it on our own. This is why I love to read books. I love to get into the minds and hearts of people that I may never meet. This is why I enjoy watching good movies with fantastic storylines. It just allows me to step into a world that I could never have experienced but for that moment of interaction. Telling stories is one of the most powerful means that leaders have to influence, teach, and inspire. I'm going to take that last line again, that leaders have to influence, teach, and inspire. And as a nonprofit founder, as a social enterprise uh, owner, literally, these are the three things you want to be focusing on. How am I going to influence my community? How am I going to influence donors to support me? How am I going to influence volunteers? How am I going to teach about the things I'm passionate about? How am I going to teach about climate change? How am I going to teach about gender equality? How am I going to teach about, good housing? How am I going to teach about, ending poverty? How am I going to inspire people to take action? If you're not doing these three things, then it's time to go back to the drawing board, because these are the areas you want to focus on. Am I influencing? Am I teaching? Am I inspiring? Am I inspiring others? Because through telling stories, you can actually achieve these three things. And I'm here to show you how. The nonprofits and social enterprises who can tell the most compelling stories are those who will command the most influence within their community. Period. Period. You've got to master the art of telling the most compelling stories. When crafted and used purposefully, storytelling can help build connection, it can help build confidence, and bring about change in our communities, nations, and our world. So, we're going to practice. I have a lot of practice moments all through this class because I want us to learn and implement, learn and implement. So that's one of the things I meant by this isn't baby stuff, because I want you to practice immediately. So in the chat box, I need you to tell me what story has made a major difference in your life today. I'm seeing your comments. Mystic Judy says, this whole storytelling thing is going to be drilled into my brain today. You got that right. We haven't even started. This isn't even introduction. What story has made a major difference in your life? Could be a story you read in a book, could be one you heard from your parents or grandparents, could be one you witnessed or one you simply heard about. What story has made a major difference in your life? And I really want you to quickly just think of a story that has influenced you and put it in the chat box or put it in your journal, because there's a B part to that question. And I want you to think about the emotions you feel and the impact you experienced because of that story. And then I want you to imagine the table flipping and see how your audience is on the other side experiencing all of those good feelings just because you shared your story. It's a very practical exercise that I really want us to start with. And I am insisting that you share with me because I want to make sure that you get value out of this class and you are able to implement. You see, we are in the knowledge dispensation. You can practically find knowledge about anything, anywhere. However, it's not just knowledge that gives you power, it is applied knowledge that gives you power. And so, what I'm trying to get you to do is to do something so powerful for yourself, and that is learn and apply. So, this class is learn and apply. All right. So, what story has made a major difference in your life? Just one story that has made a major difference in your life. And I want you to share the emotions. Now, when I talk about a major difference, I'm really focusing on a story that changed you for good. It could be something that inspired you to do what you're doing. And I want you to go back to that feeling because I want you to imagine how your audience on the other side are feeling when you choose to tell your story, because your story is a gift. I need you to realize this. Your story is a gift. If you're writing in your journals, as I believe you are, please put that down and personalize it. Put your name, Judy. Your story is a gift. Heritage, your story is a gift. Toying, your story is a gift. I want you to personalize it because I don't want you to forget it. Every time I find myself going through anything, especially even when it's challenging, I tell myself, like I preach to myself, I tell myself to remember my message, which is your story is a gift. It is a precious gift that the world needs, that the world is waiting for, that the world is begging for. And I really want you to do this exercise of imagining what it was like to be inspired by a story, perhaps shared with you, perhaps watched in a movie, perhaps read in a book. How did that make you feel? How did that make you feel? All right, so while you put it in there, I'm just going to rush through because we have so much to cover. Okay, so what is the difference between a good story and a great story? So, Bernadette Jiwa, I absolutely love her. She shares this, and I thought it would be great to share this with you as well. And she sort of breaks down the difference between a good story and a great story. And so, a good story tells, a great story engages. So you shouldn't just be a storyteller. You should be one who tells stories that engages the heart, engages the emotions of people, and causes them to take action. And that leads me to the second point. A good story informs people, but a great story moves people. You just don't want people to stop at, okay, I know what it is you're doing. And that's it. They're informed. No, we want to tell the kind of story that moves people beyond information to saying, excuse me, how can I help you? How can I support you? How can I spread the word about your work? How can I volunteer? How can I fund your vision? A good story changes how we think. A great story changes how we feel. So I can hear a good story and feel okay. I can start thinking differently, but is it really changing how I'm going to feel and what I'm going to do after that day? Is it going to inspire me to take action? Because truly, we want to tell great stories, not just good stories, but great stories. Being a great storyteller is about learning how to build connection and trust with your listeners or audience. So you must be intentional about these two words. Am I connecting with them? And am I building trust? Because if you can get people to know you, like you, and trust you, it's very likely that they will be committed to supporting your vision, your why. I love this quote by Peter Handke. He says, if a nation loses its storyteller, it loses its childhood. Very powerful quote. Great story ideas are all around us. So, another practice moment, and you can take all of these things down. I believe the slides will be shared with you as well. So, you can actually take the time to practice all of these exercises. So, take a moment to find three everyday stories to tell. And I want you to look into your life. I want you to look into your own personal experiences, those around you, and see the three stories you can come up with. And if you are at a place where you have an accountability partner or you have someone that you are attending this class with, then you want to make sure after today you are both holding each other accountable concerning all of these exercises. Okay, let's look at the mindset of master storytellers. I love to teach about mindset because mindset is everything. As a man thinketh, so is he. If I can change the way you think about yourself, about storytelling, it's very likely I can change everything about what you're doing. Even the things that you think are a challenge right now, it's very likely that I can help change it if I help you change how you think, how you see yourself. Isaac Dinesen says to be a person is to have a story to tell. And all of these quotes are things you really need to ponder on because storytelling is at the very fiber of our being. In being a storyteller who is changing the world, I must warn you, you will need your mind in the game because a lot of people fear being judged when it comes to telling their stories. And I would put this disclaimer out there because I teach about storytelling, but I'm always quick to tell people you don't have to share what you're not ready to tell. That's the truth. Just because I say tell stories doesn't mean you want to put everything out there, including the ones you feel you're not ready to tell. So that's a quick disclaimer. And this is especially for those who've been hurt because you need to take the time to heal. Hurting people hurt others. There is no rush. Tell it when you're ready. But in the meantime, don't hold back on the good stories. Don't hold back on the stories that you're comfortable sharing. We need them today. All right. I want us to look at something. else that I feel is important, and that is the four different mindsets I believe every great storyteller should have. I want to see your comments. I want to see your comments. Mystic Judy says the story about how DDK got a job at Phillips Consulting when they were not hiring. It made me feel like I too can also open closed doors in my own life and experience. That is powerful. Thank you for sharing that. Absolutely. And I want you to think of how that story gave you the hope to feel like you can open any door. Now imagine you being at a place where you are DDK and someone else is you. Imagine the gift you're giving to that other person. DDK shared this story, and this is what it did for you. And I can bet you that feeling and that inspiration has led to a lot of doors that maybe you would have walked away from. It probably has kept you in a place where you are more intentional. So while someone else may see a closed door and walk past it, you've heard a story about someone who entered a door that seemingly was closed. And so you see possibilities. So imagine being able to share your own unique story and giving someone else that privilege of of just the powerful gift of hope. Oh, I love it. Thank you so much for sharing. Four different mindsets I believe every great storyteller should have. Number one, growth mindset. People who have this mindset, they desire to grow and they're always improving themselves. They constantly work on being better than yesterday. The thing about growth is when you know better, you do better. And I need you to put that down. When I know better, I do better. That's the truth. So it's so powerful that for of all the things you could have been doing today, you've chosen to spend this time with us. And if you're watching this on the replay, I have nothing but love for you. When you know better, you do better. Your storytelling skill gets better. You are able to craft better stories and share them in the most powerful way. Absolutely. Thank you, Olajumoke. Olajumoke. The dreamer mindset. These are people that have the ability to dream and think big. Do you believe your story has the ability to change our world? I do. I do believe because I am a living proof of how a story can not just change the world, but change your life. And my story that has taken me around four continents is not even a pretty story. I like to call it an ugly story. There's nothing pretty about running away from home at the age of 22, eloping, and at the age of 31, being divorced and a single mom of two sons. Ain't nothing pretty about that. But that's the same story that has taken me around the world. And so when I tell you that your story can change the world, and I believe it, I know exactly what I'm saying. And the thing is, you have to believe it too. You have to believe it too that your story can change the world. A dreamer believes anything is possible, and they have the ability to come up with incredible visions for their future. Incredible visions. As a nonprofit founder, you must be a visionary person. You must be able to see possibilities. You must be able to dream of a better world for us all through the work that you do. Another practice moment. What do you see? Imagine a world where you share the gift of your unique stories. What do you see? I want you to open up a journal and pour your heart out. What would it be like? What would this world be like if you decided or made a more intentional decision to share your stories? And don't even start by telling me you don't have any stories because that is absolutely incorrect. And I will prove it to you. Just give me a minute. I will prove it to you that you've got stories, tons of stories. So that is the second mindset. Let's move on quickly to the third mindset, the abundance mindset. I love people that have an abundance mindset. People who know that there's room for all of us to shine. There's room for all of us to do our good work. You do your good work, I do my good work, the world is a better place. They are givers. People that have the abundance mindset, they are givers. They understand that it's not just about them, but it's about the impact their stories can bring to our world. They believe there is plenty for everyone, more than enough to go around. And that's the truth. You must have an abundance mindset as a storyteller. They're optimists and they're genuinely happy for others when they achieve success. They embrace and accept change, knowing that even if the change is somewhat challenging or difficult, it will often lead to positive outcomes. When you find someone who has an abundance mindset, the energy they radiate, it is so welcoming. It is so powerful. Life happens, and that's the truth. We do not always have control over it all. However, we do have a choice to see the treasures and not just the thorns. These are the people with an abundance mindset, the positive mindset. Storytellers who have this mindset focus on the bright side of life. They are very, very in tune with those with the abundance mindset because they see the bright side. They expect positive results. Now, this does not mean avoiding or ignoring the bad or negative things. Instead, it involves making the most of what has happened because life will happen. And are you just going to throw in the towel and say, "Look, I'm done"? This is why a lot of people take their lives because they don't see the possibility of anything good coming out of what they've experienced. And this is not to water down the experiences that people have had. This is to say you had no control over what happened to you. But if you step up to that place of saying, "Okay, this happened to me. I got raped when I was 5, or I got molested when I was 16." And I've heard all sorts of stories from women from across the world. And sometimes I cringe just, hearing the things that people have gone through. And what's beautiful is also seeing how a lot of these women have taken such negative experiences and turned it into good. It is so powerful. These are the people that have the positive mindset. It means they make positive thinking a habit and they're always searching for the silver lining. So, in conclusion of this part, people don't fall in love with ideas at all. They fall in love with how the organization, its services, ideas, and visions make them feel. This is what we fall in love with. And this should be your goal, to make us fall in love with your work, make us fall in love with all that you're doing, make us fall in love with your ideas, make us fall in love with your visions. And if you've ever been in love, you know you don't want to come out of that cloud. It's kind of like they say being in cloud nine. You don't want to come down from that cloud. That's how we should feel about your work. You are doing something so powerful and you deserve to have us fall in love with it. But we can't fall in love with it if you're not intentional about telling us your stories. All right, let's go. Another practice moment. I have so many of these, and I'm sure the team also would come up with a workbook to really just put everything in one place. So, when have you had an opportunity to tell your story before? How did it feel? What effect would you like your story to create? What is your dream outcome? Like, what kind of change would you like your story to create? You see that ugly story I just shared with you guys, my personal story of running away from home. There's so many things that it creates in the world, and it's what gives me the courage to keep sharing it. It's not a pretty story, like, it's a very embarrassing story. It's a very "what kind of a stupid girl are you? What kind of a silly child are you" story. However, I made a decision to not allow the mistakes of my past define the future that I can have. And this was my personal decision. And today I get messages from women from around the globe. And it is humbling to see the outcome of me sharing that story. It gives people hope, it gives them rest, it inspires them, it gives them wisdom to make better decisions, it gives them that, spirit of gratitude. It saves them time. I give the gift of time when I share my story, and that's a whole teaching. on the six different gifts that you have every time you share your story. So, but I want you to sit down tonight and really ask yourself, what should happen in the world when I begin to tell my stories? What should happen in the communities that I am serving because I am intentional about sharing my stories? What has been the biggest challenge you've faced in your life up to this point? How have you overcome it? You see, you need to document all of these things. As a storyteller, you can't leave things to chance. You have to be intentional about documenting your journey, documenting the challenges, the wins, the ups, the downs, the victories, the lessons, the experiences, everything. You can't afford to take chances. You can't afford to leave Q Sarah, whatever will be, will be. No. If there is a word I need you to remember tonight, is intentional. You've got to be deliberate. You've got to be intentional. You're here to change the world, and that is no walk in the park. And if you want to be a leader that the world will hear and celebrate, if you want to be one that truly makes a dent in this world, then you've got to be deliberate. All right. I want to see your comments. Talk to me. Yes. I see now. I am the one to make people fall in love with my story. Absolutely. You've got work to do, Olajumoke. You've got work to do. You've got work to do. And I am happy because I'm going to show you exactly how that's going to happen. Yes, imagine if I had kept that story as the best kept secret. All right, guys, tell me, are you getting value from this? Tell me what's the one thing you've picked out so far? We're just about, I don't know if we're halfway through yet, but we've covered quite a bit. And there's still so much more before, the questions segment. But let me know what you've picked up so far. At least one thing that you've picked up so far that you are definitely running with starting tonight. Talk to me. Talk to me. I'm going to look through the comments, but let's run through. So I need you to remember this. This is so powerful. The right story at the right time is incredibly valuable and allows you create possibility and positively affect your bottom line every time. Oh, that is so good. The right story at the right time is incredibly valuable. It's not every story you have to put out. If so, picture this: you have an opportunity to speak to a donor, a potential donor. What will affect your bottom line is knowing the right story that you need to share in that moment that will provide the kind of value to make this person say, "What do you need? I'm going to write the check." Please don't forget, deliberate, intentional. All right. Oh, Mystic Judy says, I actually know where to go from here. I love that. Olajumoke says, my story is a gift. Olajumoke says, my story is a gift that I need to treasure and share it to the world. Absolutely. Absolutely. I love it. So we're going to look at the importance of visibility because no matter what you know, no matter what you're doing, if you're not being seen and heard, it will be as though you never existed in the first place. And I can't teach you about storytelling without telling you about one of the most powerful tools that has worked for me. The results that you heard when my profile was being read at the beginning, I can tell you this particular tool is one that has literally opened the doors of the world for me. And according to the Forrester research, 1 minute of video is equivalent to 1.8 million words. Did you know, guys, live video is changing the way brands interact with their audiences? A live video strategy engages viewers in immediate and authentic ways. Immediate. There's something powerful about live videos that a lot of people are not taking advantage of. Real time, as it is hot, as it is happening, right? in immediate and authentic ways then that other social media formats cannot. And marketers are paying attention, with many organizations investing more in live streaming. So I'm telling you about the tool you will be engaging to tell your stories, because what good is it to teach you about storytelling, tell you about the benefits, and not give you the tool for which you can use to practice it? What kind of teacher would I have been tonight? So let's move forward. 91 million subscribers will utilize live streaming by 2024. The numbers are probably higher now because the pandemic literally forced everybody online. So even those that were not planning to ever touch the go live button had to figure out how to go live. And so platforms like Zoom, Google Meets, and what have you have all sprung up just to help people in real time connect with each other. 47% of viewers are live streaming more than a year ago. Live streaming topped 1.1 billion hours in 2019. 80% of audiences would rather watch live video from a brand than read a blog. Please take note of all of these statistics. 82% of people prefer live video from a brand to social posts. 62% of consumers are more likely to have a negative perception of a brand that publishes poor quality video. So you're being judged by how you appear. And you may be wondering, Naomi, I hear you. This is wow. This is wonderful. But how do I get started? So I'm just going to take it straight up. Using what you have today, I need you to know that you've got everything you need to get started right now. If you have a smartphone and internet connection, you're good to go. You don't need any fancy equipment. You don't need anything bougie. You're good to go. A smartphone and internet connection. I mean, yes, you can look into having a tripod, you can look into having lights, but for more than a year, when I started my journey on Periscope in 2016, it was my hand. And sometimes I would do makeshift stands. Sometimes I'll put books together. Sometimes I will put the ladder we use indoors to change light bulbs as a stand. Because when I started, I was an early adopter. There were tripods. There were probably tripods for cameras, not for phones, because live streaming wasn't a thing up until that moment. I mean, right now, even on the streets, you can get tripods. But when I started, it was this. Sometimes I would go live and I would be done, and I would realize that for 40 minutes, 40 minutes, 45 minutes, I was holding my phone like this. So I know exactly what I'm saying when I tell you you just need a smartphone and internet connection. You also need the right mindset, because thinking that you can is, so I'll share this quote: whether you think you can or you think you can't, either way, you're right. So it is so important for you to know that how you think about everything absolutely matters. And we already shared even some of the great mindsets that the greatest storytellers have. So, the right mindset, you need to also be clear about the value you want to bring to your community, to your nation, and to the world. Again, ring lights are great if you have poor lighting. Right now, I don't have ring lights in my office. These are my lights, and I have one not even turned on. But this is what I did intentionally. I think last year. Yeah, it was last year I did this. I got my home office set up and I just put good lights, because I wasn't even a fan of the ring lights anyway. Sometimes when I put on my glasses, they give me this round circles in my frames, and it can be so annoying. So I just made sure I had good lighting here. Someone says I'm going live. You better go live, girl. You better go live. So ring lights are great when lighting is poor, but if it is the daytime, as long as it's daytime and it's not raining, if you have this good weather, I want you to turn your face toward the window and just watch the beautiful sun kiss on your skin. So this is a hack I teach when it comes to using live videos. So that means even if you can't get lights yet, you can actually say, I'm going to go live, and I'm going to go live during the day. And all I need to do, as Naomi has instructed, is to find a window and my face is toward it. So don't turn your back. If this is a window in front of you, your face is toward the window. This is such a powerful hack, and it will amaze you just how beautiful, like the sun kiss on your skin will blow you away. Make sure, again, it's not your back against the window, but your face toward the window. A tripod stand is great to ensure your hands are not shaky when you are speaking. And there's so many cute ones that you can have, that you can purchase. Now, I want us to practice this. And this is just an affirmation I want us to say together. And I'm going to make sure everyone is saying this. And I need you to put this in the chat box. I have all it takes to get started today, and I will start right now. I love when I teach about live streaming and immediately I'm done, people are going live. Like, I absolutely love it because there is no time to waste. There's so much good that you are doing in the world, and perhaps you have not been intentional about your visibility. And if you're saying, Naomi, I hear you, this sounds great, but what am I going to say? Stay close. We're getting into part two. If you're excited, please let me know in the chat box because I am having so much fun just really teaching you tonight. So let me teach you three ways to stand out from using from the noise when you're using live videos. Three ways to stand out. Because a lot of people say the whole world is online now. Everybody's going live. How am I going to stand out, Naomi? Yes, Naomi, when you started, you already told us you were an early adopter. So perhaps there was not too much competition. But right now, everybody's live. Let's be very clear. Everybody else online is not you. Let us just be clear. Can we agree together that everybody else online is not you? So just enough. Stop it. Stop it. Stop saying everybody else is online. So how am I going to stand out? You are the speck. Oh my goodness. Do you really even know who you are? Do you understand what you carry? Do you know how powerful you are? Do you know how, my goodness, like there's really no one who can do the things that you do. Forget all that profile they were reading. We haven't even read your profile yet. So what makes you think, oh, when I show up, nobody's gonna want to hear me? Who sold you that lie? Because I came to shatter that table today. You are the speck, and the world is waiting for you. And so you better make up your mind tonight that you are going to show up. Period. But this is how you will stand out from all the noise. Let me give you the hack. Number one, be consistent. I get a lot of people get excited about going live and then they go live once and then it's 3 months and then it's 6 months and we haven't seen them. You've got to be consistent, whether it's once a week, which is the minimum I recommend. Once a week is the minimum, especially when you're getting started. Be consistent, have a plan. If it's every Thursday, 6 p.m., please show up every Thursday at 6 p.m. I want you to also show up and I want you to give value. Teach us. It will amaze you that the things you know, we don't know. It will amaze you. The things that you know that you think, this thing that everybody can find on Google, it will shock you that we don't know. So show up and give value. Teach us. And the third thing I really want you to leverage, and a lot of people don't do this, is the power of asking and listening. Going live gives you the powerful effect of real time interaction, and it allows you to ask questions of your audience, ask questions of your community. And your part is to listen. And when you listen, it will amaze you the treasure you will find in that place of listening to what people are saying. Every time I've had to create something, it was born out of people talking to me, and I listened. I didn't need to crack my head on what I needed to do as long as I was asking and I was listening. Oh my goodness, I got to run through. Don't ever lose sight of your why. Don't ever lose sight of your why. And we're going to talk a little bit about this we get to the part about the stories you need to share. What is your why? Don't ever lose sight of your why. The impact you want to make in your community, nation, and the world, it must be before you. It must wake you up every day and give you the courage enough to say yes, 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 I am not going to dim my light anymore. I am not going to hide underneath the table. You are the light of the world, a city that has been set upon the hill that cannot be hidden. So please tell me, why are you trying to hide? I need to know where you got that from, because you are not meant to be hidden. Your work is not meant to be hidden. Remember, I started with, if you are doing great stuff and you're not intentional about being seen and heard, then it is as good as you not existing in the first place. So we've got to take this, we have to take this seriously tonight. I want to see you. I want to hear you. I want the world to support you. I want the world to love your work. I want the world to not just love your work, but I want the world to be inspired to take action and make your work easy. It will amaze you how many people are around your space who have the things that you're looking for, but yet they don't even have a clue about what it is you're doing. That's for someone here tonight. It will amaze you the access to resources you're sleeping on just because nobody knows what you're doing. But let's quickly talk about the haters and the naysayers. Because a lot of people say, I want to go live, but I don't know. I just don't know about the people who are going to come after me. Let's talk about them. Because haters are going to hate, naysayers are going to doubt you. They are going to doubt you. They are going to say, what's going on here? Who does she think she is? Who does he think he is? All of a sudden, she's wanting to feel like a superstar. Hello, hello. Come on. They're going to hate, but this is important. Know who you are, know your why. Simon Sinek has a great book. I think it's behind me. Start with why. You should get that book and you should watch the TED Talk. Start with why. Know your why, your goal, your vision. Let it be clear before you. Know your audience. Who are you here to serve? What do they need help with? What problems are you solving for them? Let that be your focus. And you will not have any spare time to focus on those who don't want to be intentional about their lives. Because really, why are you worried and bothered about the people who are not willing to do anything? And here you are trying to do stuff. Here you are trying to make this world a better place. Here you are trying to do great stuff. And the very people that you are worried about, the very people that you are focusing on, are the people who are not willing to do anything. There's something not right about that sentence. There's something just not right about this scenario. Something is wrong. Something is wrong with it. Because if you look around you, you will find out that the critics and the haters and the naysayers, they're too afraid to do anything. And so they would rather just pull you down. And so it's important that you watch your space. It's important that you watch your circle. I mean, I have the kind of friends I have in my circle are the kind of friends that we're gathered and we're celebrating a win, and nobody's in one corner feeling, hey, is it only you? What's going on? We are celebrating a win, and in that place of celebration, we're planning the next goal. We're planning the next event that would change the world and transform the lives of people. And no one is checking out the bag that this one carried or the shoe that this one wore, because we're too busy trying to make this world a better place. And so we are keeping our focus on that which matters. And that's exactly what you should be doing. When you do that, you will have zero time for naysayers, because people will always have their opinions about what you should be doing. But you must give yourself permission first. Stop waiting for others to validate you before you make a move or do anything. Stop it. Be bold and give yourself the permission first tonight to say, I am capable of doing this. I am worthy of being on CNN Heroes. I am worthy of being on the cover of Times Magazine because of the work that I am doing. You have to tell yourself first, and you have to believe it that you're worthy. And then you have to show up for yourself. You have to be willing to say no to all of those things and all of those people that are not serving you on your journey. This is a decision that you have to make. I wish I could make it for you. I made it for me. And every day I stand by it. And it is what wakes me up every day. It is what keeps me alive. I love my life. It comes with a lot because I do a lot, but I will not trade it for anything else. This opportunity is priceless. I don't know who's going to listen to this. I don't know what's going to change about your life, but I know you're not going to be the same after tonight. And that is a privilege, knowing that I can be a small, tiny part of your journey. It is such a good feeling. I will sleep so well tonight, knowing that I had this unique opportunity to make a difference in your life and in your journey. All right. Okay. Let me pause. Talk to me. Hi, Timmy Tuckware. Mystic Judy says going live is now a staple on my calendar. I love it. Stop waiting to get validation from people before stepping out. Yes, yes, yes. What is your why? Don't ever lose sight of it. Yes, yes, yes. Talk to me, guys, because now we're running into content creation. I saw your questions and you want to know how to create content. What kind of content? What kind of stories should I talk about? Let me start by saying content is everywhere, but you must be intentional about recognizing it. If there's a word I will say at least 30 times today, it is that word intentional. Let's go. So, when it comes to creating content, I want you to understand the three P's. You are welcome. This slide is for you. You're welcome, guys. Thank you so much. Understand the three P's: the person, the pain, and the pleasure. When I teach content creation, my God, like I love to teach about creating content so much so that I have an entire course called the Content School. And in Content School, I break down everything about the myth about content creation and how, oh my God, I'm trying to look for a word. Like it is beyond simple when it comes to creating content. You should never run out of things to say or things to talk about or things to write about or topics to feature on your live session, on your YouTube channel or on your podcast channel. You should never ever run out of what to say. It starts here. The person, who are you here to serve? The pain and the pleasure that you have to offer. So, the person is important because trying to serve everyone is you serving nobody. You have to be clear. Even if you have multiple areas of impact you are, put in our world or bringing into our world, you must be clear. Who needs this? Who needs this? Because you can't try to speak to everyone and think that you're serving us effectively. All right? The pain. What is your ideal audience losing sleep over? Do you know? Do you really know that there are people who are not sleeping tonight because they are confused? They are lost. They're searching for answers. Now, let me shock you. The answers that you have, but they can't find you. Mm. There are people losing sleep tonight over the things that you already carry the answers to. You have the answers, but they can't find you. They're searching, but you haven't showed up yet. You haven't showed up yet. You're too busy wondering how to look at Funke and John and Mary and Martha and tell them you're going live without them laughing at you, without them telling you, oh, so that's the one you want to do now. You're too busy focusing on the people that you shouldn't even care about. Your focus should be on the people that you are here to serve. Your life is an assignment. You are here on an assignment. And there are people waiting on you to show up. There are people waiting for you to turn on your light. Question now is, have you turned on your light? Because for as long as those people are groping in the dark, that's on you, boo. That is on you. I said I sleep so well at night because I'm doing my part. I'm doing my part. Every time I get an opportunity to teach or write or show up on my podcast, it is an opportunity for me to share with someone what is going to take them to the next level. My message is simple: go from backstage to center stage. If you want a one line statement about the work that I do, forget all of those profiles that they read. In one sentence, I teach you how to go from the backstage to the center stage where you belong. You have to ask yourself, what's holding me back? And even if your light is turned on, is it full capacity or is it still like 10%, 5%? Because you're worried about what people will say. You're worried about people that might think you're doing too much, when literally, as far as heaven is concerned, you haven't even started. You haven't even scratched the surface. Hmm. What are your ideal audience losing sleep over? Don't try to answer a question that nobody's asking. You have to be clear on what their pain is, and you have to be willing to show up to solve it. My God, I pray we can finish tonight. The pleasure, this is you. Remember, I'm talking about the three P's. When you want to create content, be clear on your person, be clear about their pain. Why? Because when you show up with the pleasure, your offerings should be to your people and it should be to their problem. You should never show up anyhow. Your content should be speaking to your people and it should be solving their problem. So the pleasure is what you have to offer and what makes you difficult to replace. Mm. There's something that makes you difficult to replace, and you have to find it. I found mine, and it has a name. It's called the sparkle effect. And you have to know me, you have to listen to me to experience the sparkle effect. I wasn't so conscious of it at the beginning of my journey, but it got to a point where I realized there was something that I carried. There was a grace that follows, like it follows me everywhere. It literally follows me everywhere. It follows me everywhere. It's such a powerful grace that allows me to speak to you, to teach you, and you don't just stop at thinking about your life. You actually step out of the box to say, "Oh, I'm going for the center stage." And let me put this in perspective. When I teach about the center stage, it is not the place of, hey, Pepe them gang. No, it's not. It's not about that. It's a place of service. It's a place of turning on your light 100%. It's a place of showing up with all of the fullness that God has put inside of you to ensure that this world is a better place. That is the center stage, and you deserve to be there. It has your name written all over it. Can you see it? Can you see it? Can you see it? So, this is another quick exercise. Again, I have so many exercises here because I just don't want to teach you tonight. I want to give you practical ways that you can begin to implement and apply the knowledge. So, I want you to do a quick exercise much later today or tomorrow. I want you to identify the benefit of what you have to offer. What makes you difficult to replace? And when you put the benefits, I want you to go back to those benefits and I want you to state the benefit of that benefit. So I give a typical example. If the benefit of what I have to offer, for example, is teaching people how to use live videos so they can be seen, that is a benefit. What is the benefit of that benefit? So the benefit of that benefit would be what happens when they're seen. So it could be that in your case, you get to attract the right donors. You get to be visible enough for your work to be celebrated. You get to attract media attention for free. Do you get what I'm trying to say? So this is a very powerful exercise. List out the benefits of what you have to offer to your community, to your nation, to the world, and then write maybe beside or on another sheet the benefit of that benefit. What you will have will amaze you at the end of this exercise. You're trying to identify what makes you difficult to be replaced. All right, fantastic. So, how do you attract media attention for free? This is so good. I had to throw it in here and I'm going to run through it very quickly. You don't need to go look for anyone to feature you. And I'm sharing this because I know it's important that you have the right eyes on your work. And the media is a platform that can really, take your work to the next level. A lot of people that get on the Times cover, a lot of people who get on CNN Heroes. I mean, you don't want to know what having the right media attention can do for your work. So it's important that you're intentional about how to attract media attention. Okay? So this is like a bonus I threw in here. It's not too long. I should be done with it in the next 3 or 4 minutes, right? So you don't need to go look for anyone to feature you. I can tell you when you own the space, whether it's Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn, TikTok, Twitter, the rest of the media outlets are going to come for you. And this is my personal story. I have been featured on every major TV station in my country and perhaps all the leading newspapers. And be rest assured, they came searching for me to give me free media attention. I promise you. Time will fail me to show you all of the places that I have been featured, but they read quite a bit of it in my profile. They came searching for me. And I'm going to give you the simple hack. Are you ready for this? Give value. Number one. Again, value. So you need to tell yourself that I'm no longer, and if you've been doing this, scale it up. When you know better, you do better. Don't forget. If you've not been intentional about what you do when you get online, please from today fix that. Because you're a change maker. You're a world changer. You can't afford to show up anyhow. Give value. Be strategic. Be careful what you put on social media. People just go on social media to fight everybody and curse everybody out. People are watching. Time will fail me to share about the opportunities that came from Instagram Live. My first event in India, where I was celebrated and given my first international award, came from somebody, a total stranger, who watched me on an Instagram Live. I even have the video on my channel because when I got to India, we actually in a coffee shop had a live session where she talked about the day she watched me live and how she started following me. And when an opportunity came to nominate speakers for awards, she selected me, a total stranger. Today, we're still very good friends, Niharika. She's moved now to the UK, but she saw me on Instagram Live. I can't tell you how many. My first TEDx platform was from someone who was watching my show. What show? It was my smartphone when I just started, because my first TEDx talk was in 2016, in the month of my first year anniversary, and I was still trying to figure a lot of things out. But I knew well enough that this was a powerful platform, and I just needed to be intentional about showing up and giving value. I was strategic about the things that I was doing. I was strategic about the things I was posting. I was strategic about how I was showing up and what I wanted people to perceive about me. You can't afford to show up anyhow and expect to be seen and acknowledged as a global change maker of repute. You can't afford to. Okay? So even if everyone else is doing it, you don't have to join the bandwagon. Be known for something. It makes it easier for you to be discovered. Have a list of media personalities you would like to connect with. Be expectant. Follow their work. Say hello to them. Engage with their content. There are strategies to all of these things. And none of them even involve money. I'm not even talking about running ads. I'm telling you. Honestly, I'm not even very good at it. Most of what you heard read in that profile was built organically. Thank God for the grace of God, I promise you. But I can't tell you that I have an ads budget where I am intentional about my visibility and I'm running ads. Absolutely nothing wrong with it. But I'm telling you that even with organic strategies, there's a lot that you can accomplish. You want to scale up, run those ads, run them on Facebook, run them on Google, run them everywhere. But you see, if you don't have the foundation right, then even the ads you're running, you find out that they're not working. So it's important that you get the foundation right. All right. Expectation is the mother of manifestation. Expect people to notice your work. Expect people to see the good you're doing and mention your name in the rooms that you have not entered. You've got to expect this. I remember when I started my journey, when I saw the possibilities by going live and having, or rather, the possibilities of going live and having people come into my broadcast from different parts of the world, I started saying, why be local when you can be global? That's my quote. Why be local when you can be global? I wasn't global, but I kept saying it. And right now, I mean, I think I built more of a global following before people knew me locally. I saw it. I expected it. I declared it. I lived up to it. I showed up. I did the work. And the opportunities just keep coming. All right. You getting value tonight? Let me know. How do you build engagement with your audience? Facebook users share 3.3 million pieces of content. 205 million emails are sent. And this happens every 60, is it 60 seconds? Yeah, in 1 minute. 400 hours of video are uploaded on YouTube. Twitter users tweet nearly 422,340 times. Instagram posts users post nearly 55,505 new photos. Given this crazy amount of activity going on every minute, so that's it. It's every minute of every day. The real question is, how is your content? How will your content grab the attention of your targeted audience? So whether you're targeting donors, you're targeting volunteers, you're targeting international media, you've got to be targeting something. No, oh, that's another class entirely. Because you can't be doing work, for instance, that has to do with climate change, and you're not even in the radar of the top global organizations that are about climate change. So how is this working? So that's a different class entirely. I'm not even going to go there because I want to make sure I finish my slides and I'm almost done. So we can take the questions. Whew, please talk to me. Talk to me before I go on. This one crazy minute. Look at all these things that happen in 1 minute. 1 minute. Crazy amount of activities that is happening. And it can be overwhelming. And most people just feel, man, I'm not even going to bother about this social media. It's too much. I get that. However, there's work to be done. And don't ever forget about those people that are losing sleep tonight. Isha, when you're sleeping tonight, you should ask yourself, Father, are there people that are not sleeping? Are there people that are not sleeping because I have refused to turn on my light? Help me turn on my light in full capacity. Guys, talk to me. Are we getting value today? All right. So, all of this is happening in 1 minute. So, what do you do? What to do? Be known for something. It makes it easier for you to be discovered. Don't just flow and, today is this, tomorrow is that, Q Sarah, Sarah, whatever will be, will be. No, please, you got to be intentional. Well, there is that word again. You've got to be intentional about everything. Have a list of media personalities you'd like to connect with. I've shared this. Be expectant. Expectation is the mother of, oh, I think I went back. I went back. Sorry. Yes, there it is. Be authentic. Be authentic. We're talking about how to build engagement with your audience. Yeah, sorry, I went back. Be authentic. It's okay to be vulnerable. It's okay. It's okay to be vulnerable. And vulnerability also includes boundaries. I mean, that's a whole direction I cannot go tonight because I will not finish my slides and I have to finish because I still have so much more to share, right? But we're almost done. In another 6 minutes, we're done so we can take questions. But I want to believe that I have touched a lot of the questions so we don't have to eat too much into, so I can steal some time from the questions time, right? It's okay to be vulnerable, but there are boundaries to vulnerability. Being vulnerable does not mean you have to, maybe, for instance, um, have maybe a scar on your breast and then you decide to say, okay, I want to be vulnerable, and then you decide to open. That's not the kind of vulnerability I'm talking about. Like, not everything has to be on social media. I am vulnerable with the work I do, with the stories I tell, but it will amaze you that I don't post my kids on social media. Only recently, I mean, I launched my mom closet channel, and the trailer video, because I said I'm a mom, I had to show pictures of me and my kids, just for, credibility. However, that's what it is. That's what it is. There are some parts that I feel I don't want to put out there, and this is my decision, my decision. And so you can set those boundaries, those parameters, even when you're vulnerable. Okay? Be human. People are not searching for perfection. A lot of times people don't show up because they think they're not perfect. They don't have it all figured out. I don't. But this will give someone liberation tonight. And I teach this a lot to my clients. I say, even if you feel you're at a level 5 or a level 6 or a level 3, there are people who are at level 2. There are people who are at level 1. There are people who are at level -5 who need the knowledge that you have at level 3. So you must understand that where you are now is good enough. And as you begin to show up, as you begin to increase capacity, as you begin to invest in coaches and mentors and courses, as you begin to read books and grow, you will, of course, increase your capacity. So from a level 3, you go to a level 7 and a level 10. And at a level 10, now you're able to serve people at level 9. But when you were at level 3, you could not serve people at level 9. So you must understand that people are not looking for a perfect you. People are not waiting for someone who has figured this whole thing out, because I really don't know if anybody has figured this whole thing out. We're all on this journey and we're trying to show up and do the best that we can, God helping us. But if you allow the thought of, I'm not perfect, oh, I don't have a perfect this, I don't have a perfect that, then you are going to shortchange yourself and you're going to keep more people groping in the dark. And this is not what you want. I often say my life mission is to die empty. I want to go to the grave knowing that I took nothing with me to the grave. Because Miles Monroe, my mentor of blessed memory, would often say the richest place in the world is the graveyard, where you have the would have, could have, should have been. People who died taking their gifts to the grave. I don't want to be among the people that populate the grave with treasure. I want to empty everything. So when I stand before my Maker, I can hear, well done, good and faithful servant. Enter into your rest. Now that's it for me. I don't know what it is for you, but I do understand, and I know this. The fear of wanting to be perfect first will keep you at a place where at the end of the day you end up shortchanging yourself. Oof, this was not the plan when I created the slides. I'm sharing way more than I thought I would. Okay, let's go quickly. So, in engaging with your audience, ask questions, tell them to share their thoughts or experience, ask if they have a different opinion. And you can see that I've been doing that. At some point, I'm like, okay, tell me, talk to me, you know, talk to me, talk to me. If we had time, I would stay. I mean, because I love that real-time interaction. I want you to be engaged. I want you to connect with me, right? I want you to feel connected. Some of you may never have met me before. Maybe this is your first time watching me. And if you're watching the replay, maybe this is your first time even seeing me, but you're already feeling so connected. It's a strategy that I've been doing since I started. And you can practice that too to build that engagement with your audience. All right, so we're wrapping up. Oh my goodness, I can't believe we got here. I was like, Lord, when are we getting here? So let's just do a quick recap, and I'm going to share some bonus on the types of content you can begin to create as a nonprofit founder. So, quick recap: storytelling, why is it important? It helps you build awareness about your cause or the problem you're here to solve. Storytelling helps to increase your brand awareness. I mean, that is intentional. I am repeating that because I want you to know that it has the ability to help you be visible. Storytelling can help establish you as a thought leader in your field. It can help you attract donors and investors to improve your visibility across borders. Okay, so imagine being known in Kenya, and visibility uh, through just leveraging the art of storytelling and the tool of live videos. Imagine now your work is being celebrated in Nigeria, in Ghana, in Texas, in London, in Madrid, in Monte Carlo. Ooh. Oh, wow. Okay, so five types of stories you can share. If you really want to attract people, you need to tell genuine and interesting stories. Your why story. Why are you here? Why is your organization here? Why do you do the things you do? Your vision story. What is your vision? We kind of like need to know. All right. How can you carry us along? Remember, we are meant, you're supposed to tell your stories to get us to a place where we fall in love with you and the work that you do. And it is possible. Your impact story. Don't assume we know what you want to do in your community. Talk about it. And when you do it, tell us. And I know there's a thin line with, saying, okay, am I showing off? And I've seen some extreme cases, and it's not every impact story that I'm a fan of, and this is personal. However, there is a degree to which these stories must be told, especially even for accountability purposes. Because when donors and volunteers are part of your work, they expect to see the result of that which they have supported, whether financially or otherwise. Your challenge story. I love to talk about challenges, because as long as you live in this world, challenges will come, and it's okay to talk about some of it. Vulnerability is really very powerful. It allows people to connect to the human that you are. Again, there are boundaries to vulnerability. That's a whole different conversation, but it's okay to talk about your challenges, especially from an angle where people might be able to help you, and also from an angle of talking about it when you have solved it, because then that is just pure treasure for people, to learn from. Your win story: you will overcome challenges and you will win. So be sure to share those stories too. Oh my God, we're almost done. Your organization stories are needed. Share the stories behind your mission and vision statement. Why did you come up with your mission and vision statement? I just came up with why I came up with the mission statement of Dying Empty, because I don't want to take anything to the grave. Tell us why you do what you do. Share stories of others who are giving back to your community in a helpful way, thereby supporting your own good work. Share stories that will encourage your audience to take action. All right? Tell the story of your beneficiaries, right? Take us through a day in the life of your beneficiary. Take the necessary permissions. So don't just help someone and then feel like, okay, I've helped you, so I have to put you on social media. There is a thin line and you have to find it, okay? You have to find it. And I think what really matters is your motive. If your motive is really to showcase what you've done so that you can get more support to do more, then that is fantastic. We do know that there are those who do it just because they want to show off. So I think in the area of this, thin line, I think motives are kind of like a good weighing stick. But again, no judgment, right? So find your balance when it comes to telling the stories of your beneficiaries. Do you work with a community? Share that story with us. Tell the stories of your supporters and partners and how they're helping you make a difference in our world. Share practical ways people can make a difference in their everyday lives. Come on, there's so much to share. Share stories from books and resources you routinely read and highlight their relevance. I mean, I am surrounded by books. I can teach for 10 years without running out of things to say simply from the books that I am reading. Your volunteer matter. Tell the stories of your volunteers. Who are they? Why have they chosen to partner with you? What gives them hope? What are they looking forward to in the future? How has volunteering changed their lives? Share, share, share because they matter. Share stories of your donors. Get an exclusive interview with one or more of your donors. If you don't have donors yet, well, keep showing up. They're coming. Share their impact story. What have you achieved so far with their support? Share stories about your future donors. Why should they fund you? That's a good one. If you don't have donors yet, then you want to share stories about them before they come. Share your stories about your organization's future fundraising goals. Talk about that $20 million vision. It will amaze you, the people who will show up because that vision has their name written all over it. Share it and tell us the difference it will make in our world. And finally, oh my God, we did it. Oh, I feel like throwing confetti in the air. Your stories matter and your stories never get old. Please don't forget that. Don't tell me, oh, I shared my story last week. And so, do I have to share my story every time I speak? This really helped me. And every time I share my story, I have people who have heard my story like I don't know how many times. And the statement is always, Naomi, every time you share your story, there's always something different I pick from it. It's because the energy that I release every time I share my story comes from a place of understanding that my story never gets old. Your story never gets old. It is fresh and it is hot every time you share it. Don't get too familiar with your story and think that they are irrelevant just because you've shared them before. Don't you dare do that. My second TED talk is about the story of running away from home. And before that TED talk in 2019, I had been sharing that story publicly for 3 years. It's on Facebook. But I did not feel like this story that I've shared, no, let me look for something else to go and share on the TEDx stage. It is the same story. It is the same story that I've also hinted you about tonight. So be generous in your spirit. Storytelling is a selfless gift. It is not about you, boo. It is not about you. It's about giving something special to someone else. Oh my goodness. You are the gift the world has been waiting for. I wish I could just reach out right now and just hold you and let you know that you are the gift that the world has been waiting for. I really mean it. It is time you showed up. I really believe it's time you showed up. And tonight I have gone through as much as time will allow because you can tell I can teach this all day and there will still be so much more to cover. In the time that we've had together, I have showed you how powerful storytelling is and how amazing you are and the work that you do in the world and why I believe you need to be seen and heard. If you're already being seen and heard, I want you to take that to the next level because there's room for more growth. I think it's time you showed up. You have a solution you carry and the world needs it. Do not take it to the grave. I beg you. Do not take it to the grave. Thank you so much for having me. Oh my goodness, we did it. We did it. We did it. We did
Wow. Hey, Dr. Naomi, you ought to have seen my face all through your session. Like, like I can't contain myself. What? I'm
it.
sure everyone can attest to this. We can actually have Dr. Naomi with us till 12 a.m., till in the next 6 hours, and we will never be bored. Thank you so much, Dr. Naomi.
Thank you.
You really, wow, shared profoundly on the importance of storytelling. Not just the importance, but really showing us practically how we can deploy the tool of storytelling. More importantly, I just love how so many quotable quotes that have been ingrained into our hearts we're just flying from, your teaching tonight. So many. First, starting with the fact that our story is a gift and that our story never gets old. A lot of times that's how we feel. You have told your story through a documentary and you're saying, why should I keep repositioning or repurposing that documentary? Would they get bored? But you're saying, yeah, keep telling it. It
Keep
never
telling
gets
it.
old. It is pure
Yep.
gold.
Yep.
What? Like, I am blown. So many quotable quotes. Like, I would say, let me speak for myself tonight. When you said, storytelling is a powerful means to influence, teach, and inspire, that's what you've literally done for us tonight. Everyone tuned in tonight has been influenced, they have been taught, deeply taught, and they have been greatly inspired. I'm sure everyone who came in tonight have discarded certain ropes, certain mask. Everything has been discarded, and they're turning up and making a fresh commitment to show up,
Thank
show up
you.
fully, turn on their light, and let the world see their light, and really shine the light, in whatever area and impact area that they have been called to serve. Thank you so much, Dr. Naomi. So,
You're
without
welcome.
further ado, let me just open the comment section, throw open the floor to everyone. I know Dr. Naomi has really taught us tonight. It's been a very in depth and comprehensive presentation. She really did justice to the theme, even went far and above. We really do appreciate you, Dr.
You're
Naomi.
welcome.
But in
You're
the
welcome.
midst of this, I know some of you may have a few questions nonetheless. So
Mm.
we will be open to take a few questions because Dr. Naomi has done justice. So quickly in the comment section, I would encourage you to just type in there your questions tonight. But while I wait for that, I could just throw throw up some questions that we already
Absolutely.
curated. Yeah, from the community. So someone has asked tonight. Already you spoke about content, and you've spoken about the types of stories, everything. You've dissected it. But let me now take it a notch, deeper or a notch
Mhm.
higher. Someone says, okay, for a non-profit and social entrepreneur or a social non-profit leader, would you need to go strategic in terms of having a model, a storytelling model or business storytelling plan to really be more effective in telling your story? So we really want to hear from you.
Yeah, I did see that question, and if there's anything people know and have come to love about me is just the simplicity of things. I don't necessarily think you have to have a storytelling plan,
Yeah,
a business model. Of course, have a plan. And there were lots of times I talked about being strategic,
yeah,
being
yes,
intentional, being deliberate, being consistent. I mean, yes, and you can decide to put all of those things together and call it your storytelling plan. But you don't have to wait to create that perfect document. I know people who haven't started businesses because they say, "Oh, I don't have a business plan yet." And so until I have a business plan, then I'm not going to start. So if it's in the light of, should there be a business model storytelling plan? It sounds like a lot of big words, but honestly, be clear on your why. Simon Sinek, I made reference to him. Please get the book, watch the TED Talk. Start with why. It's a great place to start. If you want to create a plan for your business when it comes to storytelling, start with why. Why are you doing what you're doing? What is the vision? What is the mission? Who are you here to serve? The 3 Ps. I mean, once you're clear on who your person is, the pain and the pleasure you have to offer, then you can sit back and look through even some of the stories that I shared, from the volunteer story, the donor story, your organization story. Like, that list is endless on the types of stories you can share. And of course, leveraging a tool like live streaming, because it's one thing to have a blueprint, to have the model plan, and then you don't get out there, and then you don't show up, you don't do videos, you don't write, you don't blog, you don't have a podcast. And I'm not saying you have to be everywhere, but find something, find a platform and begin to, allow these things have an expression. Okay, so that's what I would say as regards that plan, right? It's just in the little details of knowing why, knowing who you're here to serve, and just showing up consistently and giving value, 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 value. Yeah.
Wow. Thank you so much, Dr. Naomi. I just love again how you're saying, and that's why you're tying it again to the power of being authentic. Just keep
Yep.
it simple. That's what
Keep
you're
it real.
saying. Keep
Yeah.
it simple. What
Mm.
don't try to go overboard. And
Yeah.
the goal is understanding your why and then give value. And I love how you just kept saying, if you've been given value, scale it.
Yeah.
Scale it.
Absolutely, because I don't
You
want
should,
people, yeah, I don't
yeah,
want people who have at least
to
attained
become,
some level to feel like, okay, yeah, I'm good.
yeah.
Someone spoke to me just minutes before I got on live, and he's having me on his platform on Monday, and he's talking about paradigm. And one of the things he said to me was the fact that, look, you've done, you're a two-time TEDx speaker, you've done this, you've done that, you've been listed, honorary awards, and yet you're still showing up. You've not gotten to that place where it's like, okay, I've arrived. And the showing up is not also, hey, look at me now. No, it's still from a place of, look, guys, this center stage is for all of us. This center stage is for everybody. It does not just have my name, it has my name, it has your name, and it's all yours for the taking. And I'm showing up because I don't want to take anything to the grave. This is my why. It's my mission to give everything. And so even if I've had a long day and I have said yes to show up here, I will show up and show up like I was paid $1 million to do what I have to do, because I don't know who's going to watch this video. I don't know what it's going to do for them. One person can take the content of this session and transform our world. I may never truly know the impact, the full measure of the impact
Yes.
I'm having in the world. But like I said, I sleep very well at night. Tonight is just one of those special nights where I just go
Woo!
to sleep knowing, you know what, God. And it's so, Tony, let me tell you, such a powerful place, because I've gotten to that place where I don't fear death. And I've been saying this for years. When you are living a life of purpose, you're not afraid to die. Because most
Mm,
times when people see death, it's like, I don't want to die. Why do you feel you don't want to die? Because you know that there are things you have not done. There are things, there are
mm,
things that you have been saying you will do, but you've not done. I'm doing the things I should be doing. There is more, and I'm coming for them, but I'm not in a place where I'm just like giving excuses, worrying about haters and naysayers, and not showing up. So let's put this in perspective. Even if you've attained something, there is room for more. It is okay to desire to be more, do more, and have more, especially from a perspective of service. That's why I put it again in that proper perspective. The center stage is not about Pepe them gang. I teach this.
yes.
You're not Pepe. You are salt and you are light. There's a difference.
Woo!
You are
Yes.
salt and you are light. And there's a difference. So you have to understand before you start jumping on everything quotable. Pepe them gang. What, you are not Pepe. There is no reference to you as being Pepe. You are salt and you're light. And so if you must understand your role on earth, go study what salt does. Go study what light is about. And then ask yourself. So I'm just going to leave that before we start another round of teaching.
Yes. I said it. If we leave Dr. Naomi tonight, ha, we will be on a journey. And no one is going to get tired. All we just need to do is continue to fuel up with our water. That's it. Get maybe
Load
a
up
bowl
on
of chips by
data.
your side. And that's
Load
it,
up
on
on
top of
data.
data. You got it. Top of data. And we're good. Thank you so much, Dr. Naomi.
Oh, wow.
I
Thank you.
think at this point, let me just ask the audience, do you have questions? I don't think they have any questions because you've answered it all.
Talk to
You've
me, people.
literally dissected
Talk to
the,
me.
the questions on their mind. So
Mm.
finally, my question just before the ultimate question will be, is it okay to outsource storytelling, maybe as an organization or even
Yeah,
as an individual? Is
right.
it okay? Is it okay to do that?
So that's not a yes no question because if the person was here, I would ask, okay, why do you want to outsource it? Is it because you feel you don't know how to? And
Exactly. Lacking the
if that's the
competence.
question,
Yeah,
yeah, if that's the question, then watch this class because you have enough to
exactly.
start, you have enough to kick off. If it's a case of overwhelm and there's so much to do, it's definitely okay to have help. I am a big supporter of having a team with you on your journey so you don't burn out. However, storytelling is for everyone. As a founder, as a leader, if you are faced with a moment in time that is destiny bound and destiny shifting, and in that moment, there is need for you to share about your work. You better be ready. That is not a moment to say, let me go call my storytelling expert. Let me go call my consultant, if you know what I mean. So
Very
you
true.
need to be ready, right? You need to be ready. If you are overwhelmed with work and you need to have a team support the aspect of storytelling, yes, by all means, but
Yeah.
do not keep it uh do not outsource because you feel, well, storytelling is not my thing. I'm not a storyteller. Let me find the expert who will tell the story. No, you've been telling stories. Everyone here is
Woo!
a storyteller. You've been telling stories.
Woo!
Gather with your friends to gist about the day and talk about the latest thing you saw on social media.
Yeah,
That is you telling stories. So
yeah,
don't give me that line about I don't know how to tell stories.
yeah.
There is no need. Like I didn't even talk about it because it's not a conversation we should be
Good
having.
conversation.
You are a
Yeah,
storyteller. You know.
yeah. Thank you so much, Dr. Naomi. So,
Thank
I wanted to just share final words with us.
Whew,
Final
final
words,
words.
final words, exactly.
So
To
do I
every
still
change
have
maker,
final words?
just give it to us. You
You
have
know what?
done
Give
so
me a
much. Yeah,
second. Give me a
yeah.
second. I want to look through that list. If there's one thing I may not have touched, remember, I
Okay.
got some of the questions. So just give me
Yes.
1 second.
All right.
Someone, Olajumoke says, I don't have questions. Instead, I've got a
Yeah,
lot
I
of
told
notes.
you. No questions. I'm sure. I'm sure
I'm
about
so
that.
sorry. And this is typical of me. Honestly,
Yes.
when I'm done, you are really in that place where it's like, oh, let's just go back to the drawing board.
Yeah.
Let's just get work done. Let's get stuff
Yes.
done. So I'm
Yes.
happy to get this feedback from you, Olajumoke. So give me a second. Let me just check. I feel there might be something I would
All right.
want to pick out and just wrap up with in
Wrap
a
up with.
minute. Okay.
Beautiful.
All right.
Beautiful. All
Fantastic.
right. All right. So we're super, super excited about tonight. Thank you all. Thank you all for tuning in. Dr. Naomi will join us soon. So don't get off the webinar. Don't get off the um, live streaming at this moment. She's still coming in. So for us at this point, I'm even looking back at ourselves and saying thank you, Ideation of Africa, for recognizing this need and going ahead to feature someone who could really do justice to this particular topic. And we're super, super excited to really have to really have Dr. Naomi with us and to really share so in-depthly from our heart. All right, over to you, Dr. Naomi. You have the floor.
Okay, thank you so much. Like I did a quick run through and I think we did it. We covered
We did
everything.
it.
Like I looked through,
Exactly.
I'm like, okay,
We
and
covered
it's
it.
funny because when I was, adding the extra stuff on the slides, I thought maybe I might have left something out. So it's
Yeah,
amazing how, we covered everything. There's
covered
no
everything.
question there
Yes.
that really
Yes.
hasn't been touched. But what I would love to just, wrap up with is something I've already shared, and it is so true. Your story matters. Your story matters, and sometimes people feel like I don't have a sentimental emotional story. I don't have a
Mm,
once I was lost, now I'm found. Once I was blind, now I see story, and so they tend to want to keep themselves at a place where when people share stories that have a lot of emotional angles to it, it's like those are the real storytellers.
stories.
People like us, hey, there's no story. Who am I? When this one is talking, no, 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 don't do that to yourself. Your stories matter. They absolutely matter. And you must realize this, that it matters, and you have a very powerful gift that the world needs. I didn't share this, but I would love to share it quickly. It will just be a minute. There are six gifts. So I'm going to leave you with this six gifts. There are six gifts. Every time you share your story, there are six gifts that you give to the world. And I pray that you hold on to these six gifts. And anytime you want to shrink back and feel, I got nothing, I want you to remember that when you share your story, you give this six gifts. And it's an acronym: WRIGHT. And I had a God moment when I created this, because I didn't have all six of these gifts. I had, I think, two or three. But in that place of communion with the Holy Spirit, and really asking God about these gifts, I got this word. And what was amazing was that I knew this word, right, brothers? I did not know about, anything. Honestly, I didn't know it meant something. But right means to create, it means to build. And to know that when you share your story, you give these six gifts and you help to create a better world for us, should make you never shrink back. The first gift is the gift of wisdom. Every time you share your story, you give us the gift of wisdom. The R is the gift of rest. When you share your story, you give us the gift of rest. There are people who will sleep better tonight because I have come to give you rest by sharing my story and the stories of countless
Yes.
others. The gift of inspiration. If you were inspired today, please let me know in the comments, because that's what you do when you give people, when you share your stories with people, you inspire them. The gift of gratitude is a gift you give to the world every time you share your story. The gift of hope, my God, that's the first gift I knew I was given to the world. And I always would share the story of the girl who came to me the first time I shared my story on Facebook. And she said to me, I'm 35 years old. My auntie keeps taunting me. I'm reading your story. I'm seeing how you went through what you went through. You found love again. You're married. You've had a child. I have hope. I encouraged her and I forgot about that conversation. 1 year later, Tony, I got a message in my DM on Facebook. I'm getting married. No good morning, no good afternoon. I'm getting married. And I
Wow.
scrolled up and I saw that it was that same girl.
That's it, girl.
Perhaps for that 1 year, as they were taunting her and haunting her, she was like, oh no, I have hope.
I'm not going to
The
be
God that
alone.
Naomi, he will do my own. So when you share your story, you give others the gift of hope. And finally, the gift of time. A wise person once said, time is the currency for destiny. You can lose everything and get it back. You can lose money and get it back. You can lose your house and get it back. You can lose your car and get it back. If you lose time, you can't get it back. When you share your story, you give others the gift of time. Do not forget this six gifts: the gift of wisdom, the gift of rest, the gift of inspiration, the gift of gratitude, the gift of hope, and the gift of time.
Fine.
Anytime you want to shrink back, please take note. You are denying the world of these six gifts. I love you so much. The center stage is where you belong. It is time for you to go from the backstage to the center stage, and let nobody tell you otherwise. It has your name written all over it. Thank you for having
Wow.
me. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Naomi. Thank you, thank you, thank you for tonight. We truly are indebted and truly grateful to you for really pouring all of yourself to us. Really, it rings true. You really poured out all of you. And just as you rightly shared with us, you really want to die empty. And
Mhm.
we really, this is not just talk. You have walked the talk. We have seen it, we have experienced it, and we have encountered you. Thank you so much, Dr. Naomi. We are so grateful, for tonight and for
Thank you.
how you are shared. For everyone now, please, how we will do Dr. Naomi proud is by what? Taking all that we have learned and applying it. You
Right.
know, taking all that we have learned, putting them into actionable plans. And I'm sure Dr. Naomi would want to read from us, sharing our results and our testimonies. Quickly, Dr. Naomi, could you share with us how anyone could connect with you across various social media platforms?
Yes, please. So just head over to Instagram at Naomi Osemedua. So it's my name everywhere. So depending on where you are, if you are on LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, please just follow me at Naomi Osemedua. Send me a love note in the DM. I promise you I will respond. I respond to everything on my handle. I'm also the founder of the Mom Closet. So I love to talk to moms. I have a podcast and YouTube channel, The Mom Closet, so you can check it out. And of course, I am the chief storyteller at the Women with Stories. Like you can imagine, my life is all about storytelling, and I actually have a place where I share stories of women from around the world. So be sure to just follow me everywhere. My website is naomiosemedua.com, so you can head over there as well. But please do send me a love note and tell me what you're taking away from this session. If you can, I mean, share some of your notes maybe on your stories, tag me, I will repost them. Honestly, I am grateful for this opportunity with you all tonight. More than anything, I want to see the difference that you are going to be making in the world because of this great opportunity that Ideation Hub Africa has provided. Because I'm here because they had me come over. And so you would do them well, and you would do me well, and you would do well the visionary behind this organization, my dear sister DDK. You would do all of us well by actually taking all of this and really just implementing. So I trust that the team would perhaps put together a
Well,
workbook with all of
definitely,
these.
we
Yeah, you
will.
guys do it so well. You know,
Yes.
sometimes after my class, I see the workbook. I'm like, did I say that? Like, it's so good how you guys do it, you know? So the workbook will have all of those exercises. Please do them. I have not taught like this in a long while. And I know it's because you are special and God needed you to hear this tonight. And you know the beautiful thing? Ha, now I've done my part. Now it's your turn.
Exactly.
Now you know. Now you know. And so you've got to do better. I love you all. I truly, really do. And I am celebrating and cheering you all the way to the center stage.
I
Thank
love
you
it. The center stage is for what? It's for everybody.
for
Thank you,
everybody.
Dr. Naomi, for that powerful quote. And
Thank
to all our
you.
amazing community members, we say we would love to see you at the next edition of the IHA Social Impact Webinar. So subscribe to our YouTube channel, follow us across all our social media platforms, just as Dr. Naomi has shared. Also, while sharing your testimonials, tag Dr. Naomi, tag us, and we
Yes,
definitely would love to read from you. Of course, as you share with us, if the testimonials that you share with us, we would also share with Dr. Naomi. Please tag
please.
Dr. Naomi on your post across social media platforms. We want to see you buzzing with all that you have learned tonight. We want to see everywhere lit up with the light that has been impacted to you tonight. Thank you so much, Dr. Naomi, and to
Thank
all our
you.
amazing community members. We love you and we look forward to seeing you next month, same time, and during the next edition of the IHA Social Impact Webinar. Do enjoy a restful night. Bye.